It is September the 23rd, 2022. I woke up from a 3-hour nap crying. Um, and I don't know. It is midnight. I tried to go back to sleep. No success. Part of me wants to think that this was because of a nightmare. Some of it may be because I've been sick for ever, but particularly for a week. Um, but I want to talk uh, on this path to try to heal, to find sense in my life. I want to get real again. Um, this is heavy with a trigger warning. Um, Trigger warning, depression. Trigger warning for self harm and suicidal thoughts. If these are concerns of yours, thank you for stopping by. Appreciate it. Um, I don't want to make that worse for you. Say something nice in the comments about yourself. Tell me something nice about you. Something you were proud of, something that made you happy. Um, for those of you that are strong enough, handle it, please keep watching. So it's been a few days since I did the first one of these. And I didn't realize it until a couple days ago that I started doing these, started recording, and started this whole process on my anniversary. So yeah, that's been fun. Um, I've struggled with depression for a long time. I've made attempts on my life. One of them should have succeeded. That is a tale for another time. Suffice it to say, I'm not dead. Um, I have a long history of not staying dead when I should not be alive. Kind of like a cockroach. The cockroach doesn't sound as good as Kestrel, so here I am. Um, I almost tried again this week, but I didn't. I have a dog. I kept the dog in this separation because she wouldn't take care of her without prodding. And I told her if she couldn't find someone to take care of her emotional support dog, that's what we got Scotty for, was her emotional support dog, that I would keep, I would take care of her. I would do everything that I could because we were not taking the dog back to the pound. I wasn't going to do that to the dog. She has done nothing to deserve that. And I am still healthy enough to take. Um, I would absolutely love a place with a yard so I could just open the door, let her out, let her run, and not be on the leash. But she doesn't play well with other dogs. Doesn't. I don't have a spot where I can have. So I get as much energy out of her as I can inside the house and on the walks that I can take with her without causing myself more issues. And she's okay. She's the reason I'm still here, and I haven't tried. She's been trying to make sense of why someone is missing. She doesn't get it. She doesn't understand. But she is starting to adjust. Um, she's understood that I need more cuddles, so she'll cuddle right up next to me most nights. Usually won't start that way, but it will progress that way. Um, she's a very good dog. But I thought about it, and I've got the meme. I I have several memes of how I could end it. I had plans, several different ways, even ways that my roommate's children would not have found. And if I were found, it would be by someone else entirely. Um, but it's my dog. She deserves someone to be there for. The one that right now. My work's been suffering because I am horribly depressed, and my work's trying to back out on arrangements we had when we started. So I told them in no uncertain terms that I'm not going into the office when I got hired. I will work remotely. That's why I took this job in the first place. And I'm good at what I do. And it's been proven time and time again, even though they take for granted what I do in many, many situations. Um, my manager is showing more and more inability to be effective as a communicator and leader. And I don't feel I have a place anymore. I don't have a chance for growth or for opportunity within my department. So I'm looking outside of it. Um, trying to do more things. I had to spend a few hours today trying to find a new healthcare provider because the telehealth system that I was using is shutting down. They're no longer taking primary care appointments as of the end of this month, and they're not going to be having any form of service by the end of this year, which is a damn shame, honestly. It had a lot of potential, but someone up in the accounting departments decided it wasn't making enough money, showing enough return on investment. So now I have to risk myself every time I go in again. And I knew it ahead of time because I normally caught something else every time I went into a doctor's office for a test. But maybe I'll finally get a doctor who is actually willing to figure out some of the things, conditions that are wrong with me. I can get healthy. at least stable. The the problem I've been having lately is that I talked last time that I don't feel wanted. And that's not even in a romantic sense or a physical sense. I'm I'm uniquely aware of myself as far as my physical appearance goes. I understand that at my best, I view at my peak I was a 7. I'm not there anymore. On my good days I'm a 6. Most days I put myself as a solid 5. Some days when I feel like death warmed over, I'm probably a 2. This isn't a dig at myself. I'm not trying to downplay anything. This is my self-assessment of how I view myself physically based upon the history I have had as myself. I've never been the one asked for a relationship. Not really. I was the one that people came up and said, "Hey, this person likes you," as a joke. More than once. Yeah, don't do that shit. That shit stays with you. I'm not going to, but I could tell you the names of each of the girls that told me that for different girls. I could. Just like I could tell you the name of the 2 guys who made my life living hell as soon as I moved into the town I grew up in. That shit stays with you. That's 30 years ago for those 2 guys. And I still remember their name. Still remember their face. That's more than just on my good memory. I can hear the insults like they were just said. But they were kids. Kids are terrible people. They're learning. They were trying to figure out this whole tribal mentality we were all in. Here I was, coming from a city. I knew computers and video games. I was interested in how movies were made. And I move into a logging town. Might as well have been a foreigner. Culture was so different. I didn't know. And it never got better. So I grew up interested in different things than a lot of folks. I was interested in acting, performance, music. One of my regrets is not learning to play an instrument. I had the desire, but not the focus. I I tried the guitar, couldn't get my hands to work it. I thought, well, I'm pretty good at pretty good at the keyboard. Let me try the piano. Something always got in the way for me to sit down and try it. Decent singer, though. I'll give myself that. Decent singer. But so much of my life, I've never been chosen. With one significant exception. This is going to be a flex. Going to be a little bit of brag. Anytime I've auditioned for something, I've gotten a part. I don't know if that speaks to my ability as an actor or my ability, or the lack of ability of the talent pool. But every time I've had an audition in person, I've gotten the part. That hasn't been the case for the voiceover stuff, but I can't honestly count that because I don't know if all of those were viewed, if all of those were received, if they listened to it and they passed on. Um, and you don't know. So, yeah. Um, but even in a lot of things, rarely am I the one who's asked. From hobbies or relationships or even casual things, people come to me with problems. And then I vanilla ice it. If you got a problem, yo, I'll solve it. What I've always done. I still do. Shit, that's my entire job. But it's not exactly an easy spot. Don't get me wrong, I like doing that. I feel useful. I see a puzzle, I tackle it, and I show the path. I see how to do it. And the pieces come together. And it's glorious. It really is. Then there are other things, other aspects. So it gets hard. It really does. So then we move forward, do what we need to. It's a challenge. And I don't know if my personal assessment is off because I don't have all the data. I like to think I'm approachable. I know I can be gruff and stubborn. But you show me data, you show me evidence, and I adjust to the evidence. But you got to be willing to look at all of it too, because I have no choice. That's how my brain works. I see a spot, there's a connection, I follow the connection through, and I do it on hyperspeed. If you're unwilling to do that, you're coming at me in bad faith. I'm going to stop helping you at some point because there's no point in doing it. But I like helping. Always have. That's really the only time that I've been asked. I establish myself in such ways that they don't have a choice. When they want it done right, they come to me. I may not be the one to do it right, but if I can't guide you, I know how to get you to someone who can. In almost every facet, I collect knowledge and contacts in a little bit of everything. So the resources I have on that is mind-boggling sometimes. I I don't know. I've squirreled off the main topic. Surprise, surprise. You're going to see that a lot until I get my medication straight. My roommate is angrier than I am. I've known her for a while. Um, Strangely enough, I've known her from my first marriage. And she's seen that while my last one did treat me better, the patterns are basically, and I don't know. Did I deserve it? Was it my fault? Could I have done more? Then what more could I have done? I did everything that was asked of me that I physically could do. I tried, but in the end, it was not enough. At least not in her eyes. I can't change that. At this point, I don't want to. That's that's the reality. You can only let yourself be blind for so long. There's only so much that you can do. I'm trying to get motivation, do other projects, to try to get some things done. But right now, I want to just try to heal. There's something that I had found a while back. I'm going to try to find it. Probably read it for the next post. Um, but there's been some comics I've been reading, web comics that have been helping. There's one that I go back to frequently, and I'm thinking about mentioning the guide so I could frame it. Um, He's there's two of his that I really like. He does his rock paper cynic. He has a post that's basically a defense of teddy bears. Um, and then he has another from his A Short a Story. Actually, I think I have it. Yeah, I have it right. So I'm going to read this. This has helped me a lot, and maybe it'll help you. I will link this in the description below. Um, the link to their website. So this is a story from Postcards from Impossible Worlds by, and I'm sorry, I'm probably going to pronounce this name wrong. Peter Tchaikovsky. I probably totally wrong on this. Um, sorry, Peter. And the photo that backs it is by photographer Brandon Morales. When you survive this, it will not be because someone said you could. Although it's good to be reminded from time to time. And when you survive this, it will not be because you had money in the bank or a roof over your head. Because there may come a time when you have neither. And still you will survive this. And when you survive this, it will not be for family nor friends, although at times their kindness will be the only candle you carry. And when you survive this, it will not be because of your enemies, nor because you held on to spite so hard that the world was deafened by the crack of your knuckles. Although a little anger now and then is good for the circulation. No, when you survive this, and you will survive this, it will be for yourself. It will be because the difference between how far you've come and surviving this is one more step, and one more, and one, until one day you look back to where you stand right now, make eye contact and nod, because you deserve to know that there is a world where you have already survived this. On the far shore of this calamity, there is a place where your greatest trial is washing the garden soil from under your fingernails, or choosing a book to take to bed. On the far shore of this calamity, there are others who will need you to be their only candle, their roof, their reminder that they will survive this, even though they can't believe you because the hope is too terrible to bear. On the far shore of this calamity, you are looking back in admiration at yourself right now, muddling through with grace and grit and grim determination. And you're smiling because you know the secret of how you survive this. And one day, we'll have the chance to share it. I I love this short story because it doesn't sugarcoat it. It tells you you can get through. It tells you you will get through for no other reason than you deserve it. For no other reason than you did just keep going. All those stories where you walk into the dark, spooky woods Or monsters and devils. Wild beasts creep around every corner. The one common thing through all of them is they kept going. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep going. I'm trying to get my head on straight. I'm trying to be better. And the answer is not going to come magically. Healing's not going to come overnight. It's going to be a process. It's going to hurt. Most healing does. For those of you who made it this far, thank you. I cannot promise the production value is going to get any better. At least for this series. Hopefully, what I say is interesting to someone out there. If not, doing this for me. My way to keep myself accountable. It doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be big. The words of support, encouragement. You don't have to make a big display out of it. Honestly, for me, a lot of that feels fake. But a word or two aside, a targeted response means more. Thank you for da 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 da, whatever the thing is. Thank you for helping me here. Thank you for giving me something to think about. Thank you for whatever. However they impacted you. I've fallen off of that habit, but I try. I try not to leave my thank yous, my appreciation naked. I clothe it with why I'm thanking, what I'm thanking for. Give context to what the thank you is so that it will hold meaning. Today, in this moment, during my rambling, I'm thankful for my dog. She's keeping me going. She's giving me my reason why when myself isn't good enough. And that's okay. Maybe I'll find my worth. Maybe someone else will show it to me. But right now it's gonna hurt.